Hi everyone, this is Melissa with Communicate with Angels, and I am excited today that I have a very special guest who just happens to be a very, very good friend of mine and a colleague, and we have worked together a lot in the past few years offering programs and retreats, and I know that she has a lot of wisdom, and I love that Kristina she's very in touch with, I would say, the feminine energy. This is what, to me, spirituality is all about. It's not about being male and female. When I say feminine energy, it's like really getting in touch with our feelings. This is what's missing in our society. And so today, Kristina is going to share about one of the tools that could really help you to be in touch with the energy in your environment. Like, as you get on this spiritual journey, you start to become more and more sensitive and more tuned into energy. So it's really important to have tools to be able to navigate that. Otherwise, you could be derailed by picking up a lot of stuff that's not you. So Kristina, would you like to introduce yourself?
Hi, I'm Kristina Coll, and I'm based out of Iowa at present. And as Melissa shared, we have been working together for many years now and been on a spiritual path my whole life, as we all are, right? I'm excited to share this tool. It actually was brought into form 3-4 years ago, perhaps, and has been a very powerful tool. I am somebody who likes to go complete polarities. So I have utilized working with it, and I have utilized a full year of not working with it, and then back to working with it again and work with it with my clients as well, with the Lighthouse, my own business. So I know what it feels like to using this tool and what it feels like to not be utilizing this tool. And so I'm happy to share that with you here today.
Yes. Okay. So what we're talking about is the New Spiritual Horizons Evolution Calendar. And New Spiritual Horizons is a program that will help you to get in touch with your own energy. So I know, Christine, you're going to share, what is the big picture of what New Spiritual Horizons is all about?
Well, so you are energy, and you and I, we all have come here to learn and grow. We each have a unique life purpose, and we have inner guidance, and we are free, which are all 5 key points of New Spiritual Horizons that we talk about all the time. And I'm sure that if you are familiar with Melissa's following, she talks about these points a lot as well. So it's just very powerful just to tune into, have a couple nice big deep breaths right now. And stay with me. I am energy.
I am energy.
I am here to learn and grow.
I'm here to learn and grow.
I have a unique life purpose.
I have a unique life purpose.
I have inner guidance.
I have inner guidance.
And I am free.
I am free.
And just feel into that. And if you're having challenges really feeling into that, these New Spiritual Horizons Evolution Calendars are going to help unfold more of that sensitivity within.
I mean, what I often share with people is this is reawakening what you always had inside. As young children, we were naturally sensitive to energy and probably had mystical experiences. And I know when I was young, if I told my parents I felt something or saw something, they would tell me I was making it up and it was just my imagination. So we kind of get these messages that it's wrong or scary in some way. And so New Spiritual Horizons is kind of like reawakening that power that's actually within you. That people didn't know any better at the time, but they probably taught you not to trust that. So I think this is what the calendars can help you with. And we are on a spiritual journey, right? You're never really done. Sorry to tell you that. There's always more expansion, but it's like it can make life more fulfilling and more joyful. And the one of those statements that stands out to me right now is you are here to learn and grow. So if you can actually see all of your experiences as a learning and growing opportunity, this is a tool that actually helps you to do that if you don't know how to. Would you agree, Kristina?
Yes. Yeah. It's like an ongoing self-study process to really getting back to the real me, who am I?
So one of the things that is part of the calendar process that people can learn to do, and this is, we say it's a calendar, but don't think of a calendar on the wall. It is a calendar, a piece of paper, but it's really a spiritual tool is what it is. Yeah, so there's what the calendar looks like. But you will learn kind of a regrouping process with it. And regrouping is so important, as is setting spiritual goals. Like, people think of material goals as what do I want? But there's this missing component of the spiritual goals. So how does the calendar help you with that, Kristina?
Well, so first let's start with, what is a spiritual goal? And the quickest way I have learned to navigate getting somebody to really feeling what that is I want you to take a couple nice big deep breaths and think about something that you want on a material level. What do you want? Maybe it's a new house. Maybe it's a vacation, something that's tangible. That is the material, that is the physical world. So we live in two worlds at once. So we're going to cover that here with these calendars as well. Now I want you to take it deeper. You got that? What is it you want? Just one thing. And I want you to close your eyes and really ask yourself, why do I want that? What is it going to do for me? So to give an example, a bigger house, well, that would gift me more space. I wouldn't feel so closed in. My children would have their own room as they are growing into, new levels of their ages, and the importance of having their own independent room. So going deeper into that, now we're going to take it a little step deeper on a physical feeling level. Why do you want that? And if you have challenges getting there, we'll work with it, but that's what these calendars are all about. And so that deep level physical feeling inside of me, that pull forward, is the spiritual goal. So for example, an example would be being playful in all my relations. That's the spiritual goal. So spiritual goals are intangible. It is a way of being. It's like a feeling, like, what is that going to give me on a feeling level?
Must have been psychically picking up what I was thinking, because that's actually the example that immediately came to mind when you said, what do you want? And it's like, it's a bigger living space. And I think as far as the feeling, the desire underneath that is some freedom of expression, to be able to be more creative and to feel more free with a space that I can really call my own, rather than renting. And renting's been great for me the past couple of years, but it's like, now it's time for a next step, a progression, right? So seeing that spiritual feeling underneath the material desire.
Yeah, beautiful.
I think a lot of people don't realize the importance of spiritual goals, right? It's not what we're taught to do. We're taught to look outside of ourselves, to think about what we want, and then get frustrated if it's not happening. So we can start to flip that around and say, well, what is the growth in this? And how can I feel happy inside?
Yes.
So why don't you share, Kristina, about, some of the other aspects of the calendar that maybe you think people would like to know about or have been helpful to you?
There's regrouping. You touched on regrouping and the importance of regrouping. So the back of the calendars, there's a whole section each week laid out for your own regrouping. And so They are accomplishments and achievements, learnings and improvements, highlights and inspirations. And Melissa, can you share just the deep importance of spiritual regrouping and why like this, putting this into your routine is also going to really help you shift what those spiritual goals are and what the material objectives are?
Yeah, I mean, it's my clients are, I feel like I'm harping it into them all the time, how important regrouping is, because it's something that you don't hear many people talking about. Even you don't really hear many spiritual teachers really talking about it. And it's so important for my energy. So to me, regrouping is taking a little time to review what have I experienced and what did I learn from it? What was the growth in it? What was the fulfillment? And what maybe would I do differently next time? If a challenge popped up with a certain experience or things unfolded in a way that I don't prefer, then what would I do differently next time? And just learning from that opportunity, particularly if it's with regards to relationships or communication with people. I feel like that's a big thing that I'm working on in my own spiritual journey right now. And just saying, okay, well, what I said, maybe I would say it differently next time. And so that's the growth in everything that I do. So regrouping is taking a little time each day to reflect on, what is the growth that I'm getting from every experience. And I do that in a journal. And this is another tool I think that can really enhance that spiritual regrouping. We don't take enough time for ourselves usually. We're just like on the go all the time, doing for everybody else, and then wondering why we feel so drained and tired and maybe even sick, right? So this is not, self-care is not something you do for fun as a little treat. It's really a need. It's a spiritual need.
Yeah.
Yeah. How does regrouping help you, Kristina?
It keeps me clear. It keeps me out of my headspace more. I mean, I can do all the other stuff. I get regular massages, I do yoga, I do meditation, I do breath work. If I'm not actually writing things down and regrouping it in this way, pen to paper, there's just something missing is what it feels. There's an unfulfillment. And it's because I'm not looking. So these are great because I can celebrate myself, accomplishments and achievements. I can celebrate instead of going through my days, through my weeks and just doing, feel like I'm doing all the time. Then I can look back and be like, oh, wow, celebrate, have more gratitude for where I'm at in life. Learning and improvements, like that's great to look at and be like, giving myself constructive criticism is different than just beating myself all the time and not writing it down and looking at it and looking deeper and saying, oh, what was I learning in that experience? What is a way that I can improve on that? And how can I show up differently? And then writing down the highlights and inspirations, as creatives and having our own businesses, we have inspirations all the time. I have found this tool to be very helpful for those that are new to this, that don't have a journal, that need guidance in like questions and what am I even looking at? What am I even going into? And so this is the space for that. And with this, you will also get a keyword each day. And that will help you with your energy. And so I don't know if you want to talk about that right now, Melissa.
Yeah, well, I was just thinking as you were talking how brilliant this is for a tool for that, because I'm always telling my clients about, the example of how I do it with a journal, but this is actually going to break it down so that you have those questions. So you're a bit more focused than just, oh gosh, what am I going to write in my journal today? So it gives you that guideline and you can do whatever you want within that little structure that you have. There's no rules to it really, but it gives you that sort of that direction. And so that that you're going to be on track with your regrouping. Yeah. And then, getting keywords is a fantastic tool, how you can start to connect with your guidance to give you your personal direction for that day. Because another of those key components of New Spiritual Horizons is you have a unique purpose and spiritual thrust. And if you're not familiar with your spiritual thrust, basically that's your unique personality and vibration and what you have to share spiritually, right? So you're not going to be on the same path as anybody else. And so that's the beauty of really having that connection with your guidance and get your keywords so that you know what you're getting out of each day and how it connects with your purpose and your thrust and your material goals as well. They can all be interrelated. But most people are kind of leaving out that spiritual piece. They're just like, go, 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 and looking out there. So I know just briefly, I know another part of the calendar, when you showed it before, there was colors on the calendar page. You want to show that again? Yeah. So would you like to share, what do those colors represent?
So on the calendar, there's colors, and that means that that's a good day to really ask your guidance, God, universe, whatever you call it, to focus in on that gift. So there's 4 unique gifts: prophecy, vision, feeling, and intuition. Some people may know them as psychometry, clairvoyant, clairaudient. So we color coded them. Yellow is for the visionary gift, and red is for the intuitive gift, which is the hearing. You hear things. Visionary gift is sight. You see things that are unseen, or you have photographic mind. The red, the intuition, is all about the facts, getting the facts, an inner hearing. Feeling is, you're feeling and sensing different energies in your environment. You can walk into a room and feel energy off. That's your feeling gift. Prophecy is that deep inner knowing, like you know something and you don't know how you know, and that's purple. And that is there to guide you to strengthen those gifts on those days, because we all have all 4 gifts. We all are sensitive. And so it's just a matter of practicing at it. And, as children, a lot of us were taught to shut those gifts down out of a lack of understanding and out of stressful situations, out of survival mode, or whatever it is. We were guided not to believe the things that we were seeing and be creative in the way that we are. Or what is that feeling? Oh, you don't feel that way. Or no, don't cry. All of these ways that have been, we're stripping the layers off. And it's just simply to get you back to the real you.
I love that. I am a very, very visual person. So if I have that right beside me, it's a reminder, oh yeah, my gifts today. Because it's easy, even for me, even though I do this as a career, sometimes it's easy for me to get stuck in the material life and the responsibilities and raising my child and all of that stuff. So just having that there is yes, okay, today is the feeling gift. So what am I feeling? It's important for me to get in touch with what I'm feeling today. It's just giving you the sense of the trends and the energy. And almost I can see it would be helpful just as a reminder that you're always on that spiritual journey if you forget.
And it's practice. How do we get good at doing anything? We practice. And so with this tool, that's your coach telling you to practice. Now you can choose whether you're going to or not, but it's here for you as a tool.
Yeah, so good. Is there anything else that you'd love to share with people about, how you think they could benefit from the calendar, or maybe some examples of how it's helped you?
The bottom is also pitfalls and no-nos. So you can tune into maybe bad habits that you might have. As you unfold this more and more, you'll really get into a rhythm of just intuitively getting what's a pitfall for this month, or what's a no. And just to give you an example is frustration energy. So that's a pitfall of mine. And then you have a solution. So what is your solution going to be? Well, mine for this was January. Mine was initiate. So when I start to feel a frustrated energy, I have to get to the root of, okay, what am I not initiating here? What am I putting expectation on somebody else to initiate, when perhaps if I just surrender and initiate, I won't be so frustrated. So it's layers, and Melissa and I and anyone else that is trained in this can help you navigate that more as you want to unfold that more. If you get into these matters though, you're going to get a bulk of materials to help you. So you'll get the gifts and talking all about the gifts. And then there's also like, there's a lot. And so I would say you're going to start simple and then you're going to keep adding things. So I would start with just your filling this out at the beginning of the month. You know, what is my spiritual goals? And good reminder, it's intangibles. It's on a feeling level. Like, how do I want to be? It's the feminine energy. And then the material objectives, that's, you know, what am I aiming for? What do I want that is tangible on the material level? And then your pitfalls and solutions. I'd start with that. I'd start getting a keyword each day, and that's very simple and easy. There's a cleansing technique. Perhaps Melissa can send a link in for the to go see a video for that, to teach you how to cleanse in the morning and get a keyword. It's very easy, and the keyword's going to set your energy for the day. And you can just write your keyword on each day. And as you feel a progression, you can start working with the colors. Say, okay, guidance, I want to work with my intuitive gift today, and just start to tune into what is that like? What does it feel like? What is it, you know, what are you experiencing? And you can jot those notes on the back when you're regrouping your week. So at the end of each week, you want to regroup. And then there's a whole nother layer, Melissa, and I don't want to get into this right now because this is a lot more depth. So it would be for another time. But there's symbols, and the symbols are all throughout the calendar as well. You'll see them, you know, little areas, and that is telling you, it's kind of like an alarm, a good alarm, just what the energy might be like that day, and to be sensitive to that. And then there's also numbers, and that's leadership qualities and how they can be unfolded. And those are on some days as well, which means, again, the energy might be present for that day. Like one of them is 2-1. And that means loyalty to yourself rather than external things. Whew, that's a big one. Loyalty to myself rather than external things. So really, those are qualities that are going to help you really get into that deeper feeling as well.
Yeah, it's great to just have that overview so that people know the depth that they can go into. And I agree, that's a great approach to take, is just kind of layer it in. Start with the simple stuff, get familiar with that, and then you can start going deeper with some of those other symbols. And there's all of those resources included that are going to guide you on the process, on how you
lots of resource included.
Everything is there for you. That's amazing. I'm so glad, actually, for me to even hear this. I think it's going to be so helpful for people. I'm going to be doing it myself as well. So thank you, my lovely Kristina. And if people want to learn about the New Spiritual Horizons calendars, they can certainly contact us personally. I'll put all the links to that in the description of this video. And then there's also a page where you can learn more, which is newspiritualhorizons.com/evolution calendars. That's a long link to remember, so you probably are just going to click it either below the video or in an email that we'll send out. Thank you so much, Kristina, for sharing with us. It was really inspiring. And thank you for being here.
Thank you for having me, Melissa.
Yeah,
I love talking about this stuff.
Yeah,
it's been quite the journey to really piece apart what is my spiritual and what is my material, so that living in two worlds at once.
Yeah, that is a great little thing to end on. It's so important for everyone to know how to do that and to bring in more of the spiritual into your life. All the material stuff is important and it's valid, but if you can balance it with the spiritual growth, every material thing you're involved in is going to be much more fun and fulfilling. So, all right, bye everybody. Thanks for watching.